in the high street in front of everybody. These things are completely in front of everybody. Shot him dead. Now, all these events, these crimes took place within a 2-mile radius of the House of Commons. So when you see the House of Commons, you see Big Ben, and you see the Prime Minister and the Leader of the Opposition, you know, all debating their points, Mr. Chairman this and Mr. Chairman that. Think, within a 2-mile radius, 4 schoolboys, all within a 4-week period, shot dead within a 2-mile radius, and all in or around the constituency of Harriet Harman. Now it so happens, because this is South London, where I happen to live actually, and I've lived there for many years, all these boys are either black or mixed race, and the perpetrators and the killers, as far as one can tell, because the press is sometimes deliberately vague who commits all these crimes, and you never hear what happens, you never hear the consequences, you never hear these people found guilty or punished or punished. All you get now is an endless nightmare of endless crime. You know, going back to the 50s, you know, there were vicious crimes committed in yesteryear, of course, but you'd get the details when they turned up at the Old Bailey, and people would with horror read the details of these awful crimes. You know, there have been awful crimes committed in this country by whites on whites, so I haven't got to stress that here. But the details will be horrific. But now, you just have endless nightmare of endless crime. Now, these boys, schoolboys, being shot dead by schoolboys in our country, in our capital in fact. I put it to you, ladies and gentlemen, all this is taking place in Harriet Harman's Peckham constituency, or just on the edges of it. I put it to you, ladies and gentlemen, the Labour Party has destroyed Peckham. And I've been active in nationalism for 30 years. 30 years ago I used to sell papers in Peckham, nationalist papers. Where's the paper? Give us a paper. I have stood. Where's our paper? Come on, where's our paper? Thank you, Kevin. This man's an organiser. That's why you can see why he's an organiser. He produced the paper. I have stood in Peckham High Street selling papers like this, nationalist papers, 30 years ago, when it was white, when the problems were starting. Now, I wouldn't want to walk down that high street. If you remember, 2 years ago, the Home Secretary, I think it was Jackie Smith, walked down Peckham High Street as Home Secretary, and if you remember, she had a bodysuit on, it was done at 5 in the morning, there were no shoppers there, surrounded by coppers. And here I am, she said to the television, here I am, I'm in Peckham, for about 5 seconds, at 5 in the morning, with a bodysuit on, surrounded by coppers. Because that is Peckham. And I put it to you, the Labour Party has destroyed Peckham, no one would want to live there, no one would bring up a family there, and the Labour Party has destroyed hundreds and hundreds of Peckhams in this country. And I put it to you, there is no rational reason why anybody British should vote Labour. And that, I think, look, we've got two messages. When you're in politics and you're trying to get people to vote for our party for very good reasons, you've got 2 jobs, in fact. It comes in 2 halves. First of all, you've got to persuade people, don't vote Lib, Lab or Con. Because before they'll switch to us, they've got to stop the lifetime of a habit, right? You know, when I was a kid, people used to smoke Woodbines. Perhaps they still smoke Woodbines. I've got no idea what people smoke. But everybody used to smoke Woodbines, coughing like. But people were addicted to smoking Woodbines. Many people are addicted to voting. I vote, at times I've heard that. We vote Labour, mate, we vote Labour. The bubble goes up in my head. But believe me, I'm very disciplined. I don't say what I really think to these idiots. So, well, they are, aren't they? Who could vote Labour and not be an idiot, eh? Not be an idiot. Not be an idiot. So the first stage is we've got to stop them from voting Lib, Lab and Con before they come to us. And there's no rational reason why any British people should vote for what Harriet Harman is doing in Peckham and what they would do to the rest of us if they had their way. I would like to say, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to say now, there are huge problems facing this country. There are huge problems facing this country, and we've spoken about them this evening, just a few of them. The old parties have failed this country, and everyone can see that. There's a general election coming. The general election could be maybe next spring or early summer at the latest. This general election is going to be very, very important. It is our opportunity, because I think the fact is, the tragedy is, the fact is, I think the politicians at Westminster have lost control of the situation, actually. They certainly lost control of the streets of our inner cities, and I think they may have lost control of our economy, which seems to be staggering or lurching from one dreadful crisis to another. This gives our brave men and women, our candidates, our activists, an opportunity to introduce this party at the general election. We have now behind us a wonderful track record. We have 100 borough councillors. We have wonderful people at the county council level. We have Richard Barnbrook on the Greater London Assembly. We have Nick Griffin and Andrew Bronze at the European Parliament. The election of these men has given hope and heart to millions. What we have to do in this general election is fight a vigorous campaign, because Westminster, in Britain, two more sentences, in Britain, final political power rests at Westminster. For example, when our ideas and our ideals prevail at the Westminster Parliament, and we and our Prime Minister announces Britain's out of the European Union, well, that's it, isn't it? You don't need to do any more than that. The French and the Germans aren't going to do anything about that. The European Union is very, very unpopular in France and Germany anyway. So the Parliament is where the final decisions are made that affect all of us, for better or for worse. And I think that this party sees that this general election is going to be crucial. The Labour Party, I think, is in a very bad way. We have a chance. Our Euro campaign gave heart to millions, and what we've got to do is address those millions and say, support us, vote for us, join us, and support us when we take up our responsibility to this country, and support us as our brave candidates, men and women, go forward to the Battle of Westminster to get our country back. Thank you very much.